I live in Ohio Zone 6A. Right now, there is snow outside everywhere and it is freezing, so I can't do anything outside. However, I can plan ahead for this year's garden, which is what I'm going to do with you guys. And I'm just going to kind of walk you through my thought process for sort of tentatively what the plan is for this year. Okay, so closest to the house, I am going to put my tomatoes. Why? One, that area gets good sun and it gets nice evening shade. Two, we let the dogs in and out constantly, which I'm hoping will keep the squirrels away from the tomatoes. It worked last year. We grew 2 cherry tomato plants and they left them alone for the most part because they were so close to the house. This year I'm growing 8 beefsteak tomato plants. Reason being, last year it was very underwhelming to have 2 cherry tomato plants. It just wasn't, it was just like, So this year I want a bountiful harvest of big juicy ripe tomatoes. And yeah, that's kind of the plan. I'm gonna grow these tomatoes in grow bags and I'm gonna have basil on top at their base in each because I want a ton of basil, I want to make pesto, all that kind of stuff. That's the plan. 8 plants might seem like a lot for 2 people, but again, we love them. We'll find a use for them one way or another. Going over to the next area of my garden, it's an area that's super messy. It's got a bunch of vines, it's got tree stumps. I'm sure the last owner who had this house, she was a wonderful gardener, and when she lived here, the trees were probably full height with the vines underneath. It was probably a beautiful, wood landscape, gorgeous. It was probably stunning, I'm sure it was. However, since then, the trees have been cut down and there's just stumps and vines. It's a mess. We're gonna take those out. We're gonna work on it. Don't know when, but we're gonna get that done. In the meantime, I'm gonna put tomatillos and husk cherries in there. Again, they're gonna be in grow bags. Again, they're gonna have basil on top or at their bases. In addition to those, I'll put some squash in there as well. And I'm gonna put squash over in my main vegetable garden. I plan on spreading them out to reduce the chance of powdery mildew because that was really bad last year. So they will just be kind of vining all over the place. You know, there's no specific spot they're going to be in. However, my kale and my lettuce will have a specific spot. They're going directly on the ground this year, and they're going to be covered by some kind of netting, some kind of hoop netting situation to reduce the chance of them being decimated by caterpillars. Because last year, I think I got just a couple of harvests, and it was a letdown. So this year I'm going to really work on reducing the pest pressure, even if that means spraying a ton of BT. That's what I'm going to do. The tall bed next to that, I'm going to grow my peppers. Not sure if that's a great idea. I'm not sure how tall peppers grow, but that area gets a lot of sun. The soil is good. That's where they're going. We'll just see. There'll also be obviously herbs and flowers and stuff in there with them as ground cover. Over to the short raised bed on the right of that, I have asparagus growing, but this is just the second year that it's been in that bed. As far as I know, you can't harvest asparagus until at least the 3rd year. You have to let it develop a strong root system so that it can recover from being harvested. So, I need some tea. I am going to plant strawberries in there with the asparagus as a companion plant because I've heard they're best friends and they get on really well together. So that's that plan. And I have an ever-bearing type. So hopefully throughout the summer I can be picking strawberries, going over grabbing some husk cherries, just nibbling my way through the garden, happy as can be. That's the plan. We will see. Behind that, in the other raised bed, I'm going to put more lettuce, more kale, have them covered, probably more herbs and whatnot. And again, there'll just be flowers randomly everywhere. Behind the large bed with the peppers, I'm going to put a trellis of cucumbers. Oh, excuse me. I'm probably going to do 2 cucumber plants. And I'm probably going to succession plant them, which I hadn't thought of before. I saw it on, I think, Michigan Gardener's channel, where he said that it wasn't Michigan Gardener, it was the other guy. What's his name? I can't think of his name. Maybe it's Millennial. I'll put it in here somewhere. Anyhow, he said you should succession plant them because, like, when they get to the end of their lives, they're just like wilty and dead, and you're like struggling to keep them alive. When you can basically just yank them out and put in a fresh one, and get a better harvest, which sounds kind of brutal, sounds kind of cruel, but it makes sense. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna succession plant some cucumber plants. That is it. I have lavender as well that I'm going to plant all over the place. Some up front, some in the back. And then I have milkweed. Milkweed I'm a little nervous of because I know it spreads. And I know once you put it down, it's there. It's there forever. But I want to support the monarchs. I want pollinators in my garden, so I'm going to plant it. Definitely going to plant it up front. We have an area to the side that's kind of wild that we mow around, so the mowing will keep it in that spot. And then I may put some in my main vegetable garden as well. Haven't decided on that yet, but we'll see. That is it. Let's see, so kale, lettuce, strawberries, cucumber, squash, tomatillos, husk cherries, and there's probably more things that I'll have in there as well. But that's kind of the bones of it. That's the plan. We will see if that is how it stays. It's going to change. I'm sure it's going to change. Yeah, that's kind of it. Also, I just want to say with comments, I've gotten so many encouraging, nice, lovely comments, but I get anxiety responding to them. I don't know why. It's definitely a me problem, but I will do better at responding to them. I will have responded to every unresponded comment before I post this video. That is my promise to you. Thank you guys for being so encouraging. The whole gardening community, it's freaking awesome, man. Yeah, that's it. Have a great rest of your day, evening, night, morning, whenever time it is, and I'll see you next time. Bye.